address, the page number, the phone number, and that should be available on all the different web pages, the same across all the LCRs, with the correct metadata as the information embedded inside the web page, and other technical requirements to facilitate this search engine results, all of which can be hopefully dealt with at the agreed meeting to enable this to happen, facilitated by the Metro Mayor. I would also ask the Metro Mayor, who might want to put his fingers in his ears, that Everton have become the first football club in the UK to be granted disability confident employer status in February 2017. This scheme is now replacing the two-ticks disability scheme, and I would like to congratulate him on this. I would ask that the Metro Mayor, if, like Everton have done, would ask the Liverpool Football Club, if they are already not in the process, if they are doing the same at joining this UK scheme. I also call on the Metro Mayor to ask that all Liverpool City region local authorities join this scheme, because not everyone displays the badge if they're a member of it, which they don't, and display the logo on their websites. I know that some, but not all, are currently in the process of being trained and being accredited as a disability confident employer. But if they are not, why not? And I would ask them to reconsider and start the process as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. First of all, I'd like to thank Evan and congratulate them for being a trailblazer once again. They at times exceed the team that I support in what they do within the community quite often, actually. And as you know, that you will receive a full response within 10 working days to the questions that you've asked. But I'll ask the Municipal Head of Paid Service, because you've mentioned some things that we can immediately respond to. So the Municipal Head of Paid Service will just respond to them. Is that okay?
Okay.
Thanks, Chair. Mr. Short, so the point makes a very valid one in relation to website information. There is a whole plethora of information out there on websites that are not always very consistently. In relation to some of the local authorities ones, the initial work that we've done does indicate that a lot of the information that you highlight is there, but perhaps it's not always relayed and displayed consistently. So what we've said that we would look to do is to convene a meeting that looks to consider what improvements can be made in addressing the point that you highlight in respect of the websites of local authority and combined authority. On the second point, in relation to the disability confidence scheme, at the 10th of July of this year, there were 136 employers in the city region who have registered to be part of the disability confidence scheme. That includes both public and private sector employers, including some of those that you have mentioned of a football persuasion. There will also be a significant number of other employers who are fulfilling the requirements of the disability confidence scheme, but aren't yet accredited. So one of the things that we've suggested is that explaining the criticality of organisations, both public and private, wherever possible, offering work placements to people with disabilities, should be at the heart of that campaign. And one of the things that we will look to do as a City Region Combined Authority is encourage all employers, and not just Liverpool Football Club, to consider signing up to that.
You'll still receive your full written response within 10 days. Okay. Item 12 is an opportunity for me to update people on the City Region's transformational priorities, which can be categorised as growing, moving and powering. And I'll now report on the work that's been done to take these forward since our last meeting. In terms of growing our economy, I was pleased to welcome Lord Jim O'Neill for a roundtable discussion on economic strategy just a few weeks ago. And I tasked him with going away and taking a rapid baseline review of the economic strategy. And he's come back and identified the following prime sectors that we need to concentrate on as advanced manufacturing, health innovation, digital and energy, particularly low carbon. The first three of these are of course in line with the recent science and innovation audit which came before this committee, which highlighted our unique advantages on materials chemistry, perfection and high performance and cognitive computing. I met with John Haig, the Vice President of Unilever and Chair of the LEPS Innovation Board earlier this week, and he'll be coming forward with proposals for a new approach to kickstart the commercialisation process in the city region, which is always, if anybody knows, in regards to innovation, such a challenge. Lord O'Neill recommends focusing as the Mayoral Combined Authority on a number of small a small number of strategic and transformational projects, which is consistent with the priority that I'm given for instance, harnessing the power of the River Mersey and my plans for digital infrastructure throughout the city region. I'm also pleased to receive Lord O'Neill's support on seeking greater powers from central government in relation to skills and education. Both issues I highlighted in my manifesto, and no doubt we will discuss further with Lord O'Neill when his findings come out in the next few weeks. Last week, I was pleased to welcome the Minister for the Northern Powerhouse, Jake Berry MP, to the city region for a visit that took in Darnsby and the fantastic facilities there and the Mersey Gateway, both pivotal infrastructure projects for the future of the city region. But I also took the Minister to the site of the so-called forgotten disaster with the leader of Wirral Council at New Ferry, and the people still facing real difficulties over the Mersey just from where we're sat now. So I was delighted that the combined authority has been able to identify £20,000 of relief funding, matching the money already raised within the community, and I hope that the government will, at least as a first step, also address this disaster by contributing to that relief fund. My office has recently convened a roundtable with representatives from the local and national cycling groups to discuss how to maximise the benefits to public health, carbon reduction, air quality, placemaking and reducing congestion of cycling. I also welcome the Welsh Transport Minister Ken Skates to the city region, where he took the opportunity to join me and have a look at cross-border transport connectivity, particularly in relation to the forthcoming re-tender of the Wales and Borders rail franchise and its impact on the Bidston to Wrexham service. On the 29th of June, I was delighted to perform the opening of Alston's new facility in Widnes along with Councillor Polo on behalf of the Combined Authority, because we supported this £21 million investment in the UK's first purpose-built intercity modernisation capability. And it's just the sort of project, the quality type of project that we're all wanting to bring about, which produces those high-skilled, high-value, high-paid jobs in the future, and great training opportunities for the next generation of apprentices. Earlier in this week, I met with colleagues from the LEP and DLA Piper to start the process of going over the legalities of developing a tidal barrage, and of course we're moving forward with the appointment of a chair for the Tidal Energy Commission. I'm pleased to report that the work on establishing our pioneering Fairness and Social Justice Advisory Board, the snappy title, is proceeding apace with the engagement from the likes of Sir Bert Massey, Professor Deborah Morris and Bob Niven CVE. Later today I'll be sending an email to the Combined Authority members and the Chief Executives to seek ideas for potential members of FASJAB to help ensure that we get the best spread of talent and representation from right the way across the city region. I've also been engaging with our trade unions, meeting the regional secretaries and attending a TUC roundtable to consider how we achieve inclusive growth as part of the government's industrial strategy. And finally, I can report that along with the other newly elected Metro mayors, and it's a total of about 40 regional mayors from across the globe, next week I'll be commencing the Bloomberg Harvard City Leadership Initiative in New York, and if anyone knows me, you'll know what a step that is, because I don't fly. And so Valium and copious amounts of alcohol will have to be consumed. But this £32 million initiative will help mayors find new ways to sustainably use limited resources and deliver for their growing populations. And whilst I'm personally delighted to have the opportunity to go, it's clearly also a timely recognition of the importance of our city region on the world stage, and an opportunity to develop a high leverage network for the benefit of the whole combined authority. So I look forward to providing updates on the development of that programme if I'm allowed back into the country, having consumed Valium and copious amounts of alcohol. Item 13 is the City Region Mayoral Combined Authority Draft 100-Day Plan. And I'm also just going to hopefully briefly try to get through this. Some of it is very difficult to read, so I don't in any way expect anybody to read the table on the right, but it's just an indication of how we've set it out. So what's the 100-day plan all about? Well, it's about us building on the good work that's happened so far and has happened prior to my election. We're an ambitious city region and we need to be more vocal in communicating this. So the plan is structured around 5 pillars or themes, as you'll see, which is ambitious, fair, green, connected and together. And within it, it has 4 time slices, each one with 25 days, so that we can continue to drive delivery and track our progress. The plan contains devolution objectives, key projects, manifesto commitments, and those events that showcase the Liverpool City region assets and talents, and the key business as usual activities. On the 100-day plan, it's worth noting that there's already significant delivery underway, and we're making progress on the development of the other areas. But there's obviously still more for us to do, more engagement, ensuring that the city region is seizing the big opportunities and setting out the strategic vision and taking forward a programme of transformation. So this is the time slice 1. Since the election and the general election, there's been considerable and significant activities, and you'll see on the highlights, for instance, the opening of the Alston Northwest Technology Centre that I mentioned earlier, the very positive meeting with the Minister Kent Gates and the session with Lord Jim O'Neill, the combined authority backing Liverpool's bid for the 2021-22 here, so that's a long way off that, the 2022 Commonwealth Games, and the judges, as people will know, were in this building only last week to review what the offer is, and we wish Liverpool through the Deputy Mayor the very best of luck. Housing First, you'll also see the feasibility study was announced just the other day, and Kate at the back was there at that. So I'm pleased to report that we have delivered on these and much, much more. Time slice 2 marks the start of the next period, and you see that the hockey curve, which we mentioned again, happened earlier today, is on that. That was investment also from the combined authority, and this project will improve connectivity to Cheshire and North Wales, and we all know that transport is an important and in fact an integral strand of the economic growth plan and of the devolution deal. A key priority for me during the mayoral term is that we invest in people, primarily ensuring that people have the right skills. So we'll be launching our skills commission with Councillor Mayor and developing our skills strategy. Another priority is that we need to take forward is the tidal barrage, so that we can make best use of our natural assets. But there's a lot of that going on which we will report back on, but the government needs also to help us to take this forward. They said in the devolution agreement, and we need to hold their feet to the fire on this one. So I'm pleased to report that we're on track to deliver these actions by mid-August. Time slice 3, the third 25-day period, will be taking forward work with businesses, including the launch of the Liverpool City Region's Insight programme, which will be a series of business briefings, workshops, seminars, roundtables, and an annual conference to help drive the growth of the city region economy. We'll be scoping how best to deliver the City Region Innovation Awards and make this a regular fixture. I attended the Merseyside Innovation Awards just the other night. There were 3 fantastic nominees, genuinely impressive, and we need to encourage everybody to use the opportunity to celebrate innovation in our city region. We're also ensuring that we're connected through our integrated transport services that are both affordable and sustainable, including the rollout, as you'll see there, of the next fleet of low-emission buses, and building our international standing, and given the context of what Asif said about Brexit, what we do know, Asif, is that Brexit means Brexit. We need ambassadors who can promote the city region. So this, together with the 2018 International Festival for Business, and the international will be a key mechanism of generating business connections, increasing business transactions, and improving those exports that you referred to. And the final slice, one of my commitments is to ensure that across the city region we're listening and engaging, bringing together experts and practitioners to respond to the challenges. So the Fairness and Social Justice Advisory Board will be a way that we ensure our policies and strategies put fairness at the heart of what the Combined Authority is all about. And the Mayoral question time will be another way of further engagement. The first session will be in St Helens, but subsequent events will take place across the whole city region. And you'll see in September and October that'll be an exciting time when the city region showcases its world-leading assets. We want the city region to be known as a place for doing business in digital and innovation. And although not shown on the plan, there is a statutory obligation on the Combined Authority to set out its revised budget, and that will include a corporate plan for the Combined Authority. And we will keep people regularly updated on what happens in regard to progress to achieve all of those aims and much, much more. Item 14 is the Combined Authority appointments. We can read recommendations on page 73. 15 is the Combined Authority website. I've just mentioned that communication, and particularly digital communication, is essential in the role of the Combined Authority. And work has been underway for some time on the development of a comprehensive website. We can now have a look at some of the screenshots of how this will work, and I think Trudy's going to run us through just a few slides. That's it. I hadn't seen that before, so, and I didn't pick the pictures again, probably if you and did that. So the website is going live today following our meeting. That will be a fantastic tool for us, and it's obviously open for everybody to get involved in that, but I know that two officers, they have been to the other local authorities. 16 is the minutes of the Transport Committee held on the 13th of June. They're here for our confirmation only. Can you confirm the minutes set out on page 75 to 84, please? We have another item that's not on the agenda, but Andy, you're going to introduce something to the Combined Authority.
Thanks for the opportunity to present this since April, the city region has suffered 4 measures, somewhere in the region of 60 to 84 gun discharges, a massive space of anti-social movement, particularly with regard to scandal likes and Northern American that. One night we had a peaceful concern over it, and we've had another shooting since then. I know the police have been dealing with it, and we've had the city leaders and also the chief execs here to discuss it, particularly the gun crack. What I'm getting from my members and what I'm getting from members of the department basically say, well, what I see is going on. So I think, bearing in mind, it's summer, but I think we do need some sort of a summer meeting where leaders, chief execs, the police, the fire and rescue service, and I think we come back to the fire and rescue service, and obviously our MPs, the local government. We've had terrible acts of terrorism carried out in the last couple of years. I think our communities are being overlooked to an extent, is that people seem to focus on that sort of terrorism. And what's going on in our local cities, some of our places, people are being terrorised by what's going on locally. There was a young man killed up in Kirby months ago by a scandal bike. We've looked at the case of the Boblands, about 6 months stolen per second. It's someone's father installed, someone's husband installed. No business of his own, and we need to get on top of it. There's no criticism of the police, I don't want to criticize the police. What I'd like to see is that way, and again using that word collaboration, where we can all drive forward an idea. But more importantly, we can actually send a message to the central government. We need some additional funding for our police forces to do their job, to do their work. If we look at what's going on, a lot of young people are being groomed in crime, right, because of this activity, and we need to combat that. That's part of the stuff that we as local authorities to take on board. As I said earlier on, one of the roles I have got is children's social care, and and that's a big issue. It's not, it's not just about sexual activity, it's also about how they behave in the general public, and young people being moved into crime through no fault of their own because they're not present. So with that, I hopefully everyone supports the idea, and I'll work with you and the operator support and drive forward as soon as quickly as possible to give the people of the Liverpool City Region some answers what's actually going on there, how we all will inform them.
Your concerns are well made. Are there any further submissions? No. You're right also that we of course need to engage not only with our Police and Crime Commissioner but with our mayoral lead for the criminal justice system. So that being the same person, it's very handy that we will work in concert with Jade. She's not able to be here today, but we'll ensure that she's aware of what you've said, Andy. We're moving on to part 2 of the agenda. It's recommended that due to the content of the next report, it should be exempt under paragraph 3 of the Local Government Act 1972 and considered in the absence of the press and the public. Can I therefore ask for this resolution to be agreed for the reasons set out in the agenda?
Agreed.
The combined authority has agreed that the next item will be considered in the absence of the press and public due to the information that it contains. Can I therefore ask anyone sat in the public gallery that they now leave the meeting whilst the item is considered and that all filming ceases. The minutes of what is agreed will be published in the usual way in due course.